Today we're going to talk about this question. Do I really need to be saved? More specifically, why would I say this? I really don't care if I get anyone saved anymore. Well, that's a good question. Almost seems a little bit audacious to say, but really it's part of who I am and what I believe. Why would I say that? It's simply because I think we have to ask so many questions to begin with. What does it mean to be saved? Saved from what? Saved for what? Saved from where or to where? So a lot of those questions are difficult to answer, particularly if you're someone in the 21st century, someone from this generation saying, why would I want to be saved? It's almost like something you get. See, I was trained in evangelism in the church. I understand the sales pitch for getting someone to accept Christ in their life. I think that's in many ways bogus. Why? Because it's simply trying to get them to repeat a formula where they would say something specific so that now they gain entry into this world of Christianity. Surely it's more than that. And I think it is. As a matter of fact, I'm not so much concerned about people getting saved anymore as I am that they find and discover the true, authentic Jesus Christ. See, I think He's the one that makes a difference. It's not about this program. It's not about a formula. It's not about repeat after me this specific prayer. It's about I want to introduce you to someone who can change the way that you view the world. It'll change your culture. To use today's terminology, it'll change your operating system to where you no longer operate on the old system, but on a new system. See, I understand that language. I just don't understand the saved language because it takes me back to a sacrificial system that I think is outdated and antiquated to make a difference in today's world. If we're going to change this generation, and if we're going to make a difference in the world, we have to think about what we say and what we invite people to do and why. It needs to make sense. And sometimes just repeating a formula as if I'm in a sales presentation for a piece of furniture or a car or something like that is not really what I think people are looking for. They're looking for something more authentic, more truthful, and more from the heart. And I think that is all summed up in showing people Jesus Christ. So, do people need to be saved? Let me cast it in a different language for you. Recently, I was praying for a friend of mine who has a terminal disease. I prayed that God would go where he is at first, and I prayed, God, just heal him. Do something for him. And the more I spent time in prayer, the more God seemed to whisper to me that, you know, it's not just that I'm going to do something. And I said, okay, God, then my prayer is that you would go to Walt, you'd put your arms around him, and you do for him whatever you want. And after a moment of silence or two, it seems like God kicked back this to me. He wanted me to be his arms of loving. He wanted me to be the financial resources to make sure that Walt had enough. He wanted to use me to make a difference in Walt's life as I was praying that he would. But here's the real deal. It's a lot easier for me to pray a prayer, take me through 4 steps, or pray a prayer for someone and let him go. It's a lot more difficult when he wants me to make a difference with my life in the world. That, I think, is more important than getting people saved. It's modeling Jesus in the community in which we live to people that we love. So what's the question for next week? How about this? How does the church respond to homosexuality? I'm sure there's lots of views about this question. And next week, I'm going to tell you what's on my heart. See you next week.